repair itself is done fairly quickly. The process to get started can sometimes take a little bit of time, especially if there's an insurance claim involved. That could take a few weeks to several weeks, just depending on the conversation that takes place and how giving, so to speak, the insurance company is. And then the contractor wants to find a contract. The customer wants to find a contractor that they can trust to do a good job and to make the best use of those funds. So that process could take several weeks, but once it's agreed upon and typically ready to do the work, it's lining out the materials and the installers and explaining, making sure that they understand exactly what's going to take place. And that process is usually done in a day. And so we could come in and make the necessary repairs and then be out of your hair, so to speak, all within the same day. Yeah, it's your first line of defense, right? We tend to forget that it's up there. And I guess ideally as a homeowner, you don't want to have to worry about it, right? But when there is a problem, it becomes a bigger problem really quickly, because anything that's now getting through begins to damage, as you can imagine, those other things inside your home that are probably even more valuable, more costly, and more sightly as well. So you start seeing stains on the ceiling, or it's a big enough problem that the water comes through, and then what's under your ceiling, it might be your furniture or paintings, your carpet, and it just all can compile really quickly. So in a situation where you have storm damage, you want to get that stopped as quickly as possible. If it's not raining, it's not leaking, but you never know when it's going to rain again, and so that's a pretty risky endeavor. And then the other piece is, like I have said before, you can't tell from the ground a lot of times that you have damage up there. In fact, I would say most of the time, and most people wouldn't be able to tell that they have storm damage unless they can physically see that the shingles have just come off and they have bare spots. But especially in the case of hail, or if the roof is fairly tall, 2.5, 3 stories up, and it's not pitched, there's lots of reasons why you wouldn't be able to tell from the ground. But especially with hail, you can't see that it's got hail damage most of the time unless you get up there and you know what you're looking for, and that may not show you a leak right off of the bat. And so it's not uncommon for people to say, well, I couldn't see anything from here, my roof looks fine, I don't need to do anything. And then 6 months later, a good rainstorm comes in, and the damage shows itself at that time, and you've got all kinds of water coming in your home.